You feel me?
Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis. And breaking scoreboard, Simone of the Olympics. Defense and big business, the Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the three in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bell in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer.
DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, in the street sports. That was really good. You know what I'm saying? I know it's been a long while. Yeah, I mean, I ain't been able to chop it up with y'all. You know how life be. But, you know, Cleveland sports, man. You know, for a long time, you know, Cleveland sports got no recognition. You know, people, you know, it seemed like the national media break down everybody else and give everybody else team good suggestions or quality moves to try to help improve their team. And it seemed like when it came to Cleveland teams, they always talked about how to break them apart, how to destroy them, how to do something else, but never no solutions on what to do and how to sustain something. Sustain something. You know, as I've grown and um, and I continue to watch and evaluate it and just observe, you know, I've come to the conclusion that people base their theories off people's past, off their track record. I mean, which is understandable because when you evaluate somebody, you all you really got to go on is their track record. You know what they've done, what they've doing, or the potential of things they've shown. So you know that's understandable. But Cleveland, you know, we've had some history of some good teams, um, quite a few, and the few good teams we had, regardless of what sport they is, you know, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, college, we've had instrumental talent. You know, like it's like, okay, we don't really have nothing, but when we do put out something, it's always spectacular, right? And it's always something people didn't see coming. You know, I mean, you had the Cavs who, you know, drafted Doherty, then they drafted Price, and then traded for Nance and got Hot Rod Williams and Terrell Brandon and Bobby Phillips, and that team was smacking. Kerr was over. The team was raw. You know what I'm saying? Lil Gerald Wilkins, like team was alright. You know, the Browns, you know, they had the Boney Cozart with the Mack and Biner and the Slaughter and Brennan and Ozzie Newsome. And, you know, Ozzie also played with Brian Sipe, who was an MVP. Amazing how you talk about Browns' history of quarterbacks and you never bring up, we talk about the national media, you never bring up Brian Sipe and his MVP year and how instrumental that was. You don't show that. You show all the turmoil and shit, but you don't show none of that. You know what I'm saying? The miracle at Richfield. You know when the 70 was that the 76 Cavs. You know what I'm saying? End up going to the Eastern Conference Finals after only being in being a 6-year-old expansion. I mean, you just I mean you know about Satchel Paige and all them. We don't really talk about the '90s Indians. You know, and I'm just saying that it's nice to have both teams in the national media. I mean, you know, they say, you know, all publicity is good publicity or whatever the case. But it is nice the fact that Cleveland is an ongoing topic every day. Now they trying to lightweight slight the Cavs. All right. But the Cavs decimated by injuries right now, and it's gonna be real interesting to see how they get when they come around All-Star break and everybody back healthy. But we'll get into that in a second. But Cleveland Browns, man, they have been disappointing. If you had expectations of the season from these Browns, like most of us did, you're disappointed. You don't really kind of like how things have shaped out and are shaping out, and it's highly understandable. But it's a few things that I keep in mind when I'm evaluating this year to keep me from going overboard and being too emotional. The fact that the biggest thing is the worst thing that we could say about the Brown season this year. Almighty forbid something else crazy happen. All right. The worst thing we could say is the Browns might not make the playoffs. That's it. You might could say, I see my hoodie look kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? You might could say, they might have to get a new quarterback. Because everybody's up in arms about Baker Mayfield. The organization is lightweight showing that they kind of fuck with Baker. And, I have my own thoughts on what I'm seeing. So I was listening, I listen to people, man. I listen to, Dan Orlowski, Stephen A. You know what I'm saying? I listen to Shannon and Skip. I listen to Ocho and Wiley. I listen to Marcus Spears. I listen to Adam Schefter. I listen to a lot of people. All right. I try to see, Rex Ryan and when they talking, Kyle Brandt and them and Nate Burleson when they talk. I listen to a lot of different people. And few people brought up some things that I'm in agreement with, and I have been in agreement with for a while. Like Baker isn't the long-term solution for the Cavs. For the Browns. I said the Cavs. For the Browns. At least he hasn't shown it yet. Now, is he a stable piece right now? Yes. Am I saying get rid of Baker? No. Am I saying not resign Baker? No. Because ultimately Baker will be Case Keenum. This situation will probably turn out to look a lot like what's going on in San Francisco. Just because, what else can the Browns do? You don't have to move on for Baker because Baker has a fire that this team needs. Reminds me a lot of Colin Sexton with the Cavs. The identity and makeup and the building blocks of this team started with Miles on defense and Baker on offense. And for a large part of this, Baker has been way more, vocal and in the forefront about these things, kind of like Sexton is. People want to get rid of him, but what do you have to replace? Now, that isn't necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. That's just it is what it is thing. But understand that when you do something like this, it's about respect. And this is how cultures build up. All right, this is how people start to understand who you is and what you about and why you about what you about. The Browns have no reason to get rid of Baker. But they have every reason to still draft their own quarterback. Because remember, this regime is only in their second year. Their rookie year was decimated by COVID and injuries and stigma. All right, and this is the rookie year. This is the sophomore year. The sophomore slump year. So, one could definitely say this is a sophomore slump for this regime. Now, a lot of these players been here more than the 2 years that this regime has taken over. But at the same token, they're all still 2 years together in this system. And quite a few of these guys are in their first year in the system. So, it's not really out of the realm and just crazy that the Browns aren't doing as we wanted them to do. Us Browns fans have to remember that we came from the bottom. So not everybody leaps from the bottom straight to the top, you know, just from one year to another, or, over a couple seasons. You need several seasons. You need a culture change. You need building blocks. You need some turmoil, go through some adversity. You know what I'm saying? You need some consistency. So this is where I'm like, as much as we say Joe Woods need to do this, Kevin Stefanski needs to do that, we have to understand that these guys are young. These are young coaches who will ultimately get better. And something that Cleveland is notorious for is giving up on things too early. So this ownership, with D and Jimmy Haslam, I don't think they're going to do anything that's going to mess this up, because if the worst thing you could say about this team is that they won't make the playoffs, that is a monumental step forward for this Browns franchise. All right, monumental. So, the team already said we're going to keep creating competition at each position. You know what I'm saying? You have to play like you want to keep your job. All right. My knock on Baker is Baker don't read defenses. You know what I'm saying? And he's a victim of his draft position. But this has been your role for 4 years, my guy. You know what I'm saying? We looked at a lot of film and seen plays where you're just missing plays. Now, at the same token, I got to put this out there. If you watched all 22, or if you watch any breakdown film of Baker Mayfield's passing, and when he's missing targets or people that's open, the biggest thing is, as soon as the receiver is about to get open, he's always engulfed by the line. So this is where I'm kind of confused at why they're not moving the line and having more rollouts and things like that. I think that was probably the plan, but maybe they feel like with the shoulder tear, rolling him out is just asking for trouble. You know what I'm saying? Versus keeping him in the pocket, which is basically doing what they're trying to avoid. But a lot of this, I'm about getting to the root of the problem. And a lot of this comes from Baker doesn't read defenses. You know what I'm saying? Baker doesn't. He's so I don't listen to the outside noise that he don't understand that a wise man listens to everything. You know what I'm saying? You want to see how other quarterbacks, especially the greats that's playing now, you want to see how they read the defense and break them down. These are things you want to know. You know what I'm saying? He has a fire. He has the moxie of a leader. But his inability to read defenses pre-snap is really what's got his whole game in question. Because he has the talent. We understand that he's undersized. But that inability to read defense, now, that's something you can get better at as a quarterback. To say that that's the weakest part of his game is actually, they really not that bad, because that's something that you gain from through experience, through year after year of, being able to go back to the drawing board, relook at your whole season, see yourself what you missed, and so you can know what to work on specifically in the off season. And to Baker Mayfield's credit, or excuse, or however you want to say it, it's really not his fault. This will be the second year or third year or the second year. He gets to go into an off season of the same system, most likely, or the same coaching staff, or the same players. You know what I mean? So again, right now, Baker is the quarterback, and I definitely foresee, unless he dramatically just ups his game, we make it to the Super Bowl, because, right now, it seems like this about to crumble. They might not even go to the playoffs. But if he, then I can kill this noise and say the Browns ain't going to do that. But in my opinion, all of these things transpire just let me know that the Browns going to offer him somewhere between 30 and 35 million. They ain't going to go over 35. They not. unless we make it to the playoffs. And we make it to the playoffs and win a couple playoff games. You know what I'm saying? If we don't make it to the Super Bowl, we win a couple playoff games, then he probably get a little more than 35, get like 37, maybe even 38. If we go to the Super Bowl, he could argue for 40. But if this year plays out like the way it's been going thus far, Baker Mayfield will get around $30 million, 34, 35 at max. He gonna get like a 3-year deal, which is long enough for them to draft a quarterback and let him groom up under Baker Mayfield because they don't have another quarterback. Case Keenum is going to be going off of a contract next year. It's his last year on the contract. So, they got Nick Mullins back there, but why would this front office pass up a chance to draft their own quarterback when all their playmakers are locked in for years? The only people going up for contract on this offense for real, is Jarvis Landry and Baker Mayfield. Everybody else is either drafted, signed, or in the middle of their contracts. You know what I'm saying? So if that's, then, that still leave them room to draft a quarterback and draft a receiver and groom them for when Baker contract up, or maybe, that player, he progresses nice, Baker get hot, you feel me, his trade value go up or whatever the case. But, I think, Baker ultimately going to end up being a backup. For the way he's playing right now, he's probably going to end up a career backup. And he could end up a career backup for the Browns and still be in love. His ego probably won't allow that to happen, which is why I say, a trade for the Texans. But that's another conversation, right? All in all, though, with all that being said, I seen some things to say the Browns are still top 10 defense, top 10 offense, and a top 6 special teams. So I'm going to tell you why, numbers could be misleading. It's easy to be a top 10 special teams when people are either scoring the ball versus having to punt it or kick a lot of field goals. That means you ain't really accumulating a lot of stats on special teams because your special teams don't see the field a lot. It's hard for your special teams to see the field a lot because the defensive part of the special teams is really what was most special. So if the defense is on the field 7, 8, 9 minutes, that's not even giving your offense a chance to catch rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Now when the offense come in, they basically trying to fight, and it's. But they play the Lions. I really think this should be a good bounce back game for them. The Lions are 0-8-1. They tied with the Steelers last week, which is crazy. Which means they could beat you if you don't pay attention. So the Browns had to go in and be aggressive, man. Myles Garrett called out the defensive coordinator, which I actually liked. That he called him out. Let's see how Joe Woods responds, because when Myles called out everybody else on the defense, they responded well. So let's see how Myles responds. Let's see how Kevin Stefanski responds. You know what I'm saying? Now the national media crucifying his play calling. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's in a good case to defend Baker or not, I've questioned the play calling on offense and the lack of aggressiveness with the play calling on offense and defense. So, I want to see some changes too. Now, if they play aggressive, they could win out. If the Browns play aggressive on offense and defense, you know what I'm saying? If they make every team adjust to how they want to play, the Browns could go 7-0 to end the season and end up 12-5. They could do that. That's not out of the realm of possibility at all. But if they keep calling plays and playing the way they've been playing, the Browns might not even be 500. You got to play the Ravens twice. You play the Packers. You got a rematch against the Steelers and the Bengals. Bruh. if y'all don't get y'all act together, this team could be a top 15 pick team. And if this team is a top 15 pick team, I could bet you bond to $1 that first round pick is going on a quarterback. Without no doubt about it. If the Browns end up missing the playoffs and going and getting the top 15 pick, that pick going on the quarterback. All right? There's nothing you can argue about that. Period. But let's transition over to these Cavaliers, who now sit at 9-8, following 2 losses to Brooklyn and the Golden State Warriors. Now, these Cavs will be doing what everybody would call overachieving. But, man, when you got good coaching in place with quality talent, you know what I'm saying, you just performing to your capabilities. I don't know about overachieving. And the fact that it took Brooklyn and the Warriors to play their A-plus game to beat us when we're missing 4 starters plus a top reserve. And they was talking shit about Kobe Altman all offseason, wasn't they? You remember that? Wasn't they talking shit about Kobe Altman? Oh, he don't know what he doing. Oh, he drafting these little guards. Oh, he doing this. Why he trade for marketing? Oh, my God. You're still paying Love. Oh, my God. Ain't this what y'all was saying? Ain't this what y'all was saying? But I remember me coming on here saying, man, for the type of ownership he got to deal with, bro, Kobe Altman lightweight been doing this stuff. And he doing something different. I was against marketing playing the 3, but now with seeing marketing play the 3 with the 2-7 with the other big man, and then seeing him out the lineup with the other 2 big men, it makes a lot of sense for him to play the 3. I mean, like, where could you, like, a guy with that type of advantage when it comes to shooting the ball, how could you bring him off the bench without having a better shooter in front of him? And the Cavs don't. Garland is probably arguably a better shooter in front of him and Windler. But Windler ain't been healthy, and Garland plays the point guard, so that has no effect on the 3 position. So this is where Lauri Markkanen is serviceable, man. And to be honest, if he start hitting that shot, boy, Lauri Markkanen start hitting that shot, boy, he's going to be a leading scorer because he's going to be open a lot. It's going to be hard to remember to step out and try to block a 7-foot Lauri Markkanen when Mobley getting his shot. You know what I'm saying? When Allen in the paint, monstering. All right, Garland being aggressive, hitting that jumper, and then Sexton coming down when you just think it ain't nothing. Sexton coming down getting his own. Bruh, if these Cavaliers can maintain any type of 500 play while they going through this injury bug, they might be a shoe-in for the playoffs. I mean, we got to look at, bruh, when everybody was healthy, they had almost 8 guys averaging double figures. Okay? Allen averaging 13 and 9. Mobley was averaging like 12 and 8. Markkanen was averaging like 13 and 5 or 13 and 6 or some shit. Garland averaging like 13 and 8 assists. Sexton was averaging 16. Rubio was averaging 13. Love was averaging like 9, 10 off the bench. Osman averaging 10 off the bench. Bruh, that type of production can keep up with anybody in the league. When you got 7 or 8 guys averaging double figures and almost a double-double, whether it be points and rebounds or points and assists, you know, I mean, that's hard to contain with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Now, we mad about their wing play, all of us. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this Cavs fans and people evaluating, you know, we like, man, you need some production from the wings. But Okoro will give you great defense. And if, you know, Chetty Osman sustain a level of play he's playing on offense, you have your counteraction. You know what I'm saying? When being able to, and then having marketing play that 3 allows you to be able to play a Stevens and bring him in for defense too. You know what I'm saying? Or bring in a Windler. Because you can slide marketing down. You know what I'm saying? What I mean more on Stevens, because you can slide marketing down, and then him and Love is, shooters. So they automatically keeping people out the paint, which is probably an ideal role for when Sexton, play with Rubio. You feel me? With Rubio coming off the bench, now you got Sexton, Rubio, with Love and marketing. You feel me? You throw a Stevens down there or something, or you throw a Windler down there. Now, guess what? Sexton got free roll to the hole, because you definitely not about to just not check Love or marketing at the 3. Rubio got free roam to come down and penetrate and kick. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, these Cavs, man, and I was the one person, maybe it was a couple people saying, but I was the one person saying, bruh, if they play right, bruh, they definitely could win 35, 40 games, especially if Love buy in. He definitely could win 35, 40 games, bro. If they was healthy, a person could argue they could reach for 50 wins with the way they playing. And I mean, they got quality wins, bro. They lost, to Memphis and Chicago to open the season up. They did that. But, bro, they was whooping teams, all right? And they winning nail biters. You know what I'm saying? This team is for real, man. So shout out to GM Kobe Allman and Coach JB Bickerstaff. Boy, you got these boys playing phenomenally. Denzel Valentine came in the other day and was putting good defense down on Jason Tatum when they beat the Celtics. That was crazy. They came back from 19 to beat them boys. You hear me? No Sexton, no Love, no marketing. No Sexton, no Love, no marketing. No Allen. Mobley got injured that game. You feel me? And then the addition of Ed Davis, man, listen, let me tell you something about Ed Davis. All right. When I play my 2Ks, especially, back before the systems upgraded for real. Man, I always had Ed Davis as a backup dude, as a rebounder. One thing Ed Davis going to always do is get you possessions. Offense, defense, he going to get you possessions, okay? He going to get you some nice possessions, too. So, having a guy like that, on the bottom of your bench, when you got a young team, helping to teach your bigs, and your guys how to really position themselves to get rebounds and shit like that, that shit is very helpful. All right? And then now he's getting to display that because, like I say, even though we lost, man, in these last 2 games, he got like 30 rebounds. Ed Davis ain't played in a couple seasons. He got 30 rebounds. He averaged 15 rebounds a game for us in 2 games. So, even though we might not have, a lot of our young guys on these Cavs haven't grown to be spectacular superstars yet, they are all definitely impactful. They are all definitely, really, really have a chance to become something special. And, Isaac Okoro hasn't turned the corner on his offense, but he is taking more shots. And that's, that's one of the first steps of becoming a better offensive player, man. You got to be to take more shots. Now, he just got to take the shots he want to take. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he just want to take threes. Bro, then go to the hole. You know what I'm saying? Take dude off the dribble and go to the well. Draw some fouls. You know what I'm saying? Pull up and hit that mid-range. You know what I'm saying? Because if you and Sexton are the mid-range killers, that bode well for the team. Even if y'all ain't stretching the 3 out all the time. But just the fact that y'all can still hit that jump shot and you a threat to hit it off the dribble, that's enough. When you got trees down there, that helps. So, I'm really high on my Cleveland teams right now. The Browns got me a little disappointed, but at the same token, like I say, if the worst case scenario, and I'm gonna keep knocking, you feel me, is they don't make the playoffs, then the Browns still in a good place. We still got good talent. You know what I'm saying? Move guys off the books, re-sign some guys. I really think Jadeveon Clowney is a guy who's going to come back. I don't know about Tack. Maybe the verdict's still out on that, but I think Jadeveon is definitely coming back. Uh, Malik Jackson probably won't return because Malik McDowell probably is going to get a nice contract. And then you got Jordan Elliott and Tommy Togiai still down there. So I just think, moving forward, the Browns are in a good place. And then they're going to come back with draft picks, so they can always draft guys to fill in and the young guys that have a year in the system. I think guys like Mac Wilson and Taki will probably not be re-signed in the beginning. They'll be allowed to test free agency. A guy like Anthony Walker could get retained if both of those guys leave. I mean, this just mid-season predictions, and I know it's a little head to get to that, but I'm just evaluating off what I'm seeing right now. You know what I'm saying? The 10 games I'm seeing right now, this is just what it looks like. Now, we still got 7 games left in the season. Things could turn a corner. We face just about as much adversity as a team could face in the season right now. So the fact that we've done it early in the season bodes well for things being able to change at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the bye week coming up in 2 weeks. I believe we play the Lions this week, then we play Baltimore next week, then we got the bye week, then we play Baltimore again. So, we need to go 2-0 in these next games, but right now we just need to go 1-0. As far as the Cavs, I just want to see them still develop these young guys. I want to see Chetty remain hot and aggressive. I want to see a Okoro offensive game turn the corner, especially now with, so many guys down. Sexton and Mobley are going to be out for quite some time. So, Marketing and Allen are going to be back sooner than later. And Marketing is probably going to start at the 4 with Allen at the 5. So, we about to see how this really about to look, because if you start Marketing at the 4, then you don't really need to start Dean Wade. You can actually bring D Wade off the bench and start a Okoro at the 3, because we gonna see, man. All right, man. It was good chopping up with y'all. You know what I'm saying? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, InDaStreetzSportz. I'm gonna try to get back up with y'all the next day or so. You know what I'm saying? And get more into around the league. I've been solely focusing on just this regular, our sports teams, Cleveland. But I do want to touch on some scenarios around the league that could or could not have an impact on our teams and what we're doing. So. It's always a pleasure to rap with you all. Make sure you follow us on all social medias, InDaStreetzSportz, on all social platforms, DeeTrynt on all social platforms, you feel what I'm saying? Hit us up, give us your feedback, let us know how you feel about everything, and we'll holler at y'all later, man. Enjoy your day. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk. Catch you.